Good tidings, ladies and gentlemen of the Lodge, and welcome back! Today we're serving up another Kingdom Hearts video, one that will be focusing on the Foreteller Gula, and whether or not he embodied the virtue of Temperance. Just in case this is your first time here, take note that all of the Foretellers are named after the 7 deadly sins, and for every sin, there is a corresponding virtue. Gula, named after the Latin word for gluttony, has a corresponding virtue of temperance. Simply put, temperance can be defined as moderation and self-restraint, as in behavior or expression, and can be characterized through both humanity and equanimity. I believe that Gula spends a lot of back cover embodying this virtue, and his inability to stabilize this virtue is ultimately what led to his downfall. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. Strap on in and let's take a deep dive on our man Gula. So before we judge whether or not Gula embodied the virtue of temperance, we have to first take a look at his role bestowed to him by the Master. Gula was given a lost page, not contained in any other Foreteller's book. He was to use this lost page as a means of finding the traitor among them. This role relied on Gula's ability to embody temperance, more specifically, equanimity. We see this not necessarily in the role Gula was given, but in the advice the Master gives him after he explains the role.
Even though there is a traitor, act normal and keep focused. Trust no one but yourself.
Act normal, keep focused, and trust no one but yourself. These words all allude to Gula needing to embody equanimity. In layman's terms, equanimity is a psychological state of mental or emotional stability and composure, especially under tension or strain. We see Gula act this out throughout back cover, as he needs to keep his emotions in check so as not to reveal that he is out to hunt the traitor. We actually see this virtue, referenced by Chirithy, in the introduction.
The cool-headed Gula, who wore the mask of the leopard, was given his role to uncover the mystery of the Book of Prophecies.
Now we see this play out in many scenes throughout back cover, so I'll cover the most notable ones. Let's start with this scene here, where Aced tries to rally Gula and Ava to the cause. Now, keep in mind that Gula knows there is a traitor, and the Master implied it would be one of the Foretellers. As we know, Gula has suspicions of Aced, but he disguises this suspicion by playing it cool and entertaining Aced's ideas. I'll cut to several points of dialogue on Gula's part and take note of how cool, calm, and collected he is being in this meeting.
Well, what do you two think? You don't believe what Iris said, do you?
Of course not. His argument was unconvincing. It's like Invi said. He's just making baseless assumptions given the situation. There's no evidence to tie his accusations to anyone, let alone one of us. I wouldn't call us comrades. Anyway, could you get to the point? I know you didn't call us here just to complain. I'm in. But let's be clear. The alliance is just between the two of us right now. I don't want my union members involved.
Gotta hand it to Gula. While I'm not fond of many of his actions, his ability to play it cool and keep his emotions in check as he further investigates Aced and gets a closer look at his intentions is pretty commendable. But next I want to actually focus in on the scene where Gula ends his alliance with Aced. As we see Aced, in his anger, couldn't help himself from getting physically confrontational with Gula. But look at the composure that Gula acts out in the face of this confrontation.
But we don't even know who the traitor is yet!
And that's exactly why. I just can't trust anyone but myself.
Don't you realize you won't stand a chance against the darkness on your own?
Sorry, my mind's made up.
Simply put, there's no way that Gula could fulfill his role without properly acting out equanimity. Gula, in the face of who he believed was the traitor, maintained his composure and managed to keep his emotions in check and out of the equation. Now, let's talk about Gula's humanity. Humanity deals with a person's altruism. In simpler terms, their love and compassion for others. While I believe Gula did his best to act this out, I do believe it ultimately blinded him and led to his inevitable downfall to his sin of gluttony. I believe this ending scene here with him and Ava illustrates this point perfectly. Take careful note of Gula's words in this scene.
That's why. I need to find out.
But how?
By asking the Master.
But he's not here anymore.
I'm going to summon Kingdom Hearts.
What?
Then he'll have no choice but to come back.
Summoning Kingdom Hearts is forbidden!
That's exactly why! The only way to get him back is to break the rules. If things don't change, the entire world is doomed. But, in order to go through with it, I'll need Lux. I don't have nearly enough.
What is it they say? The road to hell is paved with good intentions? Even though Gula was trying to do the humane thing, all it did was spur Daybreak Town into chaos. Take note of this scene here with Ava and Envy, where they mention that because Gula is collecting Lux, Aced and Ira have decided to as well.
Gula's on a mission to collect Lux. That explains why Aced and Ira are as well. They're trying to maintain the balance.
So I don't know about you guys, but I actually think Gula falls a little bit more on the sinful side of the scale. He obviously showed that he could be virtuous, especially in the way of equanimity, but ultimately his humanity was a road to his gluttony, and he became a glutton for Lux, which spurred all of Daybreak Town into disarray. But hey, our man here isn't too far from redemption. You guys think he will redeem himself in the future entries of the series? Do you see him taking Ava's side when she makes her epic return? Let me know! Anyway, I really can't thank you guys enough for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see all of you beautiful sickos and normies next time.